Hello guys, welcome to Automate with RPA. In today's video, we are going to automate a game. Yes, you heard that right. It's a game. Today we are going to automate Guess the Number game using UiPath Studio. This is the basic flow diagram that I would like to automate. Let me explain this to you. So we have the start option. Once I start the process, I would like the user to give me the input. So the user will be selecting the game level. For example, if the user wants to select easy, medium or hard level, I would like the user to give me the input to select the game level. I would like to generate a random number based on the game level selected by the user. For example, let's say if a user has selected easy level, so I will keep the random guess numbers from 0 to 25, and if a user have selected a medium level, then I will select from 0 to 50, and if it is a hard level, then I will select 0 to 100. In that way I will set the game levels and I would generate the random number based on these levels. Then I will ask the user to give the user guess. Okay, so the user will be guessing the random number. Once the user inputs the user guess number, I will check if the user guess matches with the random number. Let's say if the user number matches with the random number, I will say congratulations, the number got matched. If let's say the number is not matching, okay, I would give an option to go ahead and retry the guess. And if the value is matching, then the user will be getting another prompt saying that game over, do you want to restart the game? If the user selects yes, I would like to restart the game, then again the user will be getting the option such as input the game level, like for example easy, medium, hard. Then again the same steps will be repeated, like generate the random number, input the user guess, then again the number will be matched. Until the number is not matched, it will be inside the loop, and then once the number is matched, then it will come out from the loop, and then it will ask for the option that game over or do you want to restart. If the user says no, I don't want to restart, I just want to finish off this game, then you will get an option that thanks for playing, end the game. In this way I would like this entire game to be automated. I'll be creating step by step workflow and would recommend you to do this with me together. Let's automate together. I have opened UiPath Studio, and in this we have something called new project. In new project I'm going to open a process. Okay, so I'll double click on this. Now it asks me for the name of the project. Since we are going to automate guess the number game, I'm going to give the name something similar to it, guess the number game, and then I'll click on create. Now I have got the main sequence in my flow. I would like my flow to be in flowchart, so I would type the flowchart and drag and drop the flowchart activity here. Okay, and once I double click on flowchart, I'll click on expand. I'll just rename the display name of flowchart to guess the number game. Okay, I would like the user to give the game level, right? So I would need the user to give me the input. In the activities panel, I will type here as input. So do you see here I have an option called input dialog. I would select that input dialog activity. And I'll right click on that activity and click on set as start node. Okay. Here in the properties panel, I have many options, right? So in the title, I'll expand this and I'll type here select the game level. Okay, and I'll click on save. Okay, and in the string, option string, I would like to give some string that what are the options that I would like my user to select, right? So in the double inverted commas, I'll type easy, medium and hard. So let me type here easy. In the brackets, I'll give here has 0 to 25, and I'll separate this with semicolon, medium 0 to 50, and then again I'll separate this with semicolon, and hard level from 0 to 100. Okay, this is what I have set. Now I'll click on save. So now I have an output. I'll give the output name as game level. Okay, so this is my first activity. So now, based on the user input, I would like the bot to generate the random number. I would generate the random number from 0 to 100, right? I'll be having three different flows, that is easy, medium and hard. Instead of creating three different flows, what I'll do here is that I'll create a workflow which will be common for all these three, and I'll pass the arguments based on the minimum and maximum values. So to do that, what I'll do is that I'll create a new sequence. I'll type here as random number. Okay, and I'll create. Once I've created this, I'll just click on sequence. Okay, and then in the activities panel, I'm going to type here as random number. So I'll drag and drop this random number. So now it's downloading some packages and dependencies. Now if you see here, I have this activity here, and here it has minimum, maximum and output. So it will generate the value between this minimum, that I'll give it as 0 for now. Okay, maximum I'll select this as 100, output would be random number. So now let's see whether it generates the random number or not. Okay, I'll just give a message box to check whether my random number is generated or not. I'll run only this flow to check whether my random number is generated or not. Okay, now my random number is generated. I have got 85 as my random number. Let me retry this again. Now I have got the random number as 95. Okay, so I have given a minimum value, a maximum value and the output value. Okay, and then it is showing me what is the random number that is generated. Instead of putting this in a message box, I'll write it in the right line. Okay, and I'll save this flow. Now I'll be using a do while loop because I'll have to compare the random number with the guess of the number that user have given. In the do while loop, what I'll do here is that I'm going to ask the user to input the guess. Okay, so again I will click on input dialog. Okay, I will put the dialog title as input the guess number, and this will be the text box. So now I'll have to get this value, right? So I'll press Ctrl K, and then I'm going to name this as user guess, and then I'll press enter. So now in the condition box, what I'll do here is that I'm going to check whether user guess is not equal to random number. Okay, I'm getting an error here. Okay, so I have while I have assigned this variable, right, user guess, so user guess will be always in the form of integer because the user is going to select the form integer. It is going to input the numbers, right? So I'm going to change from string to integer, and then once I have done that, I'm not getting that error anymore, right? And then I will have to also write a code because I would like to display a message saying that if, let's say, the user guess and the random number is matching, then I would like to display a message saying that congratulations, you have successfully guessed the right number. If the number is too low, then I would like to display saying that the number is too low, please try with higher number. In this way I would like to display some message. So what I'll do here is that I will click on invoke code, and I'll write a small code, small VB code. I'll click on edit code. If user guess is greater than random number, then message would be too high, try again. Else, if user guess is less than random number, then message would be too low, try again. Else, message would be congratulations, you have guessed the correct number. Okay. So what I'll do here is that I'll click on OK. So I'm getting so many errors here. So don't worry because I have not input any of the arguments, so I'll have to give some arguments so that all the variables like user guess, random number and message would be displayed. So I'll click here, and then my first argument would be user guess. User guess is in the form of integer. Okay, and then I'm going to give the value as user guess, and then the second one would be random number. This is in the form of system.decimal, and then I'm going to give the value as random number, and then the third one would be the message. This one would be in the out direction because I'm going to get the output from the code, right? And then I'm going to click on OK. So now I'm not getting any error. I'm going to quickly have a message box. In that I'm going to type message. I haven't declared any of the variable as message, so what I'll do here is that I will declare a variable called message that would be in the form of string, and in this argument I'm going to type here as message. I'll click OK. So now we have created this flow. Let's see whether this works or it doesn't work. Okay, so it is asking me for the user guess. So let me guess the number has 5. Let me press 5, and then I'll click OK. Too low, try again. Okay, so so I'm getting only one option here, correct? I'm not getting the option for yes and no, right? So I'll go ahead and stop this flow. So here I'm going to change these buttons to yes or no. I'm going to take the output of this message box as message underscore out, and then I'm going to take an if loop. If message out is equal to yes, then I would continue with this. The if the user says no, I don't want to continue, then I'll give a break statement so that it will break from the loop. Let me run this flow and let's see how this works. Input the number based on level. Let's say now I am going to enter as 2 and I'll press enter. It gives me the message too low, try again. It's my wish that if I would like to try again, or if I don't want to try again, then I'll click no. Okay, but I would like to try again. So what I'll do here is that I'll click on this yes. Now it's asking me to again enter the number, so I'm going to type here as 10. It says too low, try again. This time I don't want to try again, I'll just click no. In the beginning, we discussed that we are going to create a flow wherein the user can select different sorts of level, like for example, easy, medium, and hard level. So what I'll do here is that I will use a switch statement. I'll use flow switch. So based on the output of this game level, that is, I'm just going to copy the output of this. For example, if my output is easy 0 to 25, and then in the project what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to invoke this particular workflow, just drag and drop that workflow here. Okay, and then I'm just going to drag and drop this, and here instead of default I'm going to change this label as easy 0 to 25. Okay, I'm going to change this label. Before that, my switch will always be in the form of string, because if you see here, my output result, that is game level, is in the type string, right? So I will select here as string, and then I'm just going to drag and drop this, and here instead of default I will not use as a default case, I'm going to put here as easy. Okay, case 1 would be 0 to 25, which would be easy, and then I'm going to again invoke the same statements twice. Okay, this would be hard 0 to 100, and this would be medium. Okay, that is 0 to 50. Okay, these are the cases that I have entered here. One is easy, one is hard, and another is medium. So if I go to my random number, here my random number shouldn't be fixed, right? Because it should define as per the levels that I'm going to select. So what I'll do here is that I'm going to create some arguments. Minimum, this would be in the type of integer, and then maximum, okay, even this would be in the type of integer. And then here I'm going to replace these values with minimum and maximum. I'll save this and I'll go to the main, and here I'll create some variables which is minimum, maximum, which are in the type of integer, okay. And then I'm just going to refresh this. I have already got two different arguments which are having minimum and maximum value. So the value that I'm going to define here is 0 should be the minimum for lower range, and maximum will be 25. And then I'm going to click on save. And here also I'm going to refresh the arguments, and here the minimum and maximum value would be 0 to 50. I'm going to change this and I'm going to click on save, and here the values would be 0 to 100. Then I'll click on save. So now my this part is ready. So I'm getting an error here. Expression must be set before the flow switch in flowchart. Okay, I have not declared any variable or I have not given any input here. The output of this game level will be going here. I'm going to input this as game level. Okay. So now I would also like to keep a track of the attempts that I'm going to do. Okay. So I'll create a variable which is nothing but attempts. This would be in the variable type integer, and I will declare a default value that is 0. I would also like to pass this argument, okay, in this particular flow. So what I'll do here is that in the argument section, I'll go ahead and I will name it as attempts, and this is in the type integer. I'm going to select this. I would like to give this in this format. I'm going to complete this particular game, so I'm going to keep the count of that. Okay, I'll click on save, and then I'll save the entire flow. Then I'll come back to main, and then here I'm going to refresh the arguments. I'll save this entire flow, and now what I'll do here is that I would like to display the message. Select a message box. After all this flow, okay, whether it is level easy, level medium, or level hard, it is going to come to this flow, okay, once the game is completed. So here I'm going to give the text as game over, do you want to play again. I'll save this, and I'm going to take the output of this as message reply, okay, and then it will ask for the option saying that yes or no. I'm going to use a flow decision. I'll drag and drop this activity. So now, based on this particular message reply, so this would be the input for the flow decision. So that is a flow decision. So here I'm going to give the condition message reply is equal to, if the message reply is yes, I'll save. Then it will go ahead and it will continue the process. I'll restart the game. Okay. If they say no, we don't want to continue and we want to quit the game, then again I will use a message box, and here I'm going to give the text as thank you for playing, see you soon. I'll save this, and then I don't want the user to again click on OK and everything, so I'll give a timer, like in within 3 seconds or 4 seconds the pop-up should close automatically. Okay, and then I'll save this. Now in the random number, what I did was I haven't added the attempt counter. Okay, I will go ahead and I'll add the attempt counter. I'll use an assign statement. Here I'm going to give the attempt counter. Attempt counter is equal to attempt plus 1. Okay, I'll give this before the message box. Okay, and then let's run and see whether it works or if there's any issue in the flow. This is the input. Now based on the level, the user will be selecting the levels. So whether the user wants easy level, medium level or hard level. So based on that, the workflow will be invoked. It's a single flow, it just have different arguments. So that's the reason I have used this 3 times. So now I'll go to this flow, and here we'll generate a random number, and then in the do while loop, what we'll do here is that we'll ask the user to guess the number. If the user guesses the number, then we are going to pop up the message saying that yes, congratulations. If the number is high or if number is low, based on those we are going to run this. And then let's say, and once this is done, it is going to come to this flow. Now we'll be asking the user, do you want to continue? And if the user says yes, I would like to continue, I want to replay the game, then it will again go back to the first stage and it will run. So let's try how this works. Okay, let me run this. So now it asks me to select the game level. I'll select easy. I'll put the input number. Let's say I have just input number as 3. It gave me a message, too low, try again. I will click yes. Now I'll retype as 11. I'll click OK. So now it says, congratulations, you have guessed the correct number in 2 attempts. So I will say yes. So it says me, game over. Do you want to play again? I will say, no, I don't want to play this again. So it says, thank you for playing, see you soon. And the pop closed automatically. And the workflow also closed. Okay. So this is how you can use the flow. Similarly, you can also test this for, the another level. Let me just try hard this time. I will select hard. And here I will select the number as 50. It says too low, try again. I'll retry this. Now I'll type here as 75 and then I'll press OK. Too low, try again, and then again I'll retry this. I'll type here as 80. It says too low, try again. I'll retry this. Now I'll put it as 90. It says too high, try again. So since I've put 90, I'll just try with 89 and then I'll press OK. It says congratulations, you have guessed the correct number in 5 attempts. I'll press yes. Game over. Do you want to play again? I will say yes. Now it's again asking me for the selecting the game level. So I can again select the game level. Let's say I select medium this time. Input the number based on level. This time I'm going to input as 26 and then I'll press OK. Oh, congratulations, you have guessed the correct number in one attempt. So I'll press yes. Now it asks me game over. Do you want to play again? I'll say no, I don't want to play this game again. It says thank you for playing. This is how you can create the game using UiPath Studio. If you are excited to automate with UiPath, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.